episode of Marketing Hacks. Thanks for joining us today with me, Sean Bhakta, and my friend, marketing expert, Ray Torres. Hey, Ray.
Hey, good morning, man. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you. One of the thing, we talking about producing video, breaking the challenges to do videos and all the stuff. So what we need also, not only just make the video so attractive that we get a lot of engagement, a lot of likes, a lot of view times, So why don't we talk about this today?
Sure. Again, there's so many variables in this, but we could kind of have a top four, I guess, of what we got to try to accomplish, right?
Okay, top four reasons. Okay. Now, so let's talk about, like a subject, getting the subject.
So the subject, well, I would say that'll be number one, right? So subject is so important. So again, it has to be something that people are kind of doing, looking for information on. So that subject has to be very well lit. And it's weird. Let me just stop. I just realized something. Someone the other day we were talking and they said, hey, Ray, is there any way you can kind of start adding more words to the video of the subject? I'm like, why is that? It's like, because sometimes as I'm going through my feed, I'm like, I'm not reading the copy. I'm just looking at what it says on the actual video itself. I'm like, oh, okay. Adding the subject to the video. I'm like, okay, that's good to think about. So having the subject, that just confirms to me that having the subject visible and what it is, it's very important for make sure that your audience is going to click on something that they're looking for.
How do I pick up a desirable subject, like what people are looking for?
So one of the things that when you're actually looking at Google, right, because Google gods, right, there's many things out there, and when Google Trends is one of the most popular tools to see exactly what's trending in your area. You can go down to state, to city, and to county, if I'm not mistaken, to see exactly what's trending in the area. And again, if you watch the news, you know what's going to be trending. So at the end of the day, you take the time and you figure out, do the research to see what subject is going to be this video about, to make sure that it is going to be engaged, it's going to be watched, and it may even be liked if the information content that you're providing is good. So yeah, that's how you start. That's number one.
Okay, so that's good. So we got the subject, we recorded already. Hmm? Now tell me the second thing, like what's going to attract the audience to the video.
So just like anything else, I don't know, when I watch TikTok or when I'm going down a feed, I'm looking at my Facebook and I'm, again, just going through the feed. What makes me stop? Maybe what I'm looking at, right? So in YouTube, what are the most important aspects? One of the very most important is that thumbnail. That thumbnail has to be attractive, has to be nice, has to be concise, has to have the information on it to make me stop and say, let me check this out. So at the end of the day, there's more components of this, but that thumbnail, so imperative. And I think we all can agree that when we're looking at something, what's going to make us stop? So again, whatever that is, try to make that part of your strategy with creating a thumbnail for your video.
So attractive color or like a bold letters, maybe very few letters, so you can make it bigger. Mm-hmm. And so when people, and we got to understand that not everyone watching that video in the computer, because when they're watching on the laptop or the desktop is different. Everything is bigger. But then when someone watching on a phone, the screen gets really smaller. So thumbnail has to be readable and attractive.
Correct. 100%.
Perfect. Okay. So let's talk about the third thing. So I picked a subject. So you got a video there, picked a subject. Okay. Then I'm going through, like, maybe there's 10 videos there, and then I got hooked to your video because the thumbnail is so catchy. Okay, so that's number two. What's number three?
So number three is the hook. So the hook would be, okay, so now you have literally 3 to 5 seconds to keep that person interested. Are you going to waste it with introducing yourself? I don't know, but sometimes that's not important. But again, maybe the content, the meat and potatoes of what you're trying to convey would be a good start. So having that content within the 3 to 5 second mark, and maybe starting with, let me tell you about the best property here in Florida. That may start something versus, hey, hi, my name is Raymond Torres, and this is what I do. Again, just think about those two things. And then during that content of what you're trying to say, there's a hook. to make sure you grab them, you grab their attention, you maintain their attention. So this is what part of the process that we're trying to do. If you're doing a 30-second video, a 2-minute video, or a 10-minute video, again, that hook is so imperative to make sure you keep them engaged. If there's no engagement, goodbye. And just like anything else, that's called bounce rate. If that bounce rate's not good, Google will not rank you very well.
So that's very important. So, for example, if I'm making a video for today's buyers, and we found out from Google, like, okay, these are the fear the buyer has. One thing is maybe the interest rate is going up. One thing, maybe there's a bidding competition. Could be anything. So we're going to start with, the challenge they have, hey, are you making offer on multiple property and getting knocked out? How many bid did you lose? I have 3 tips for you, and I can guarantee you that the next one you will get the bid.
So in other words, you're answering a question. You're answering the question. Nice.
And then keep talking. Okay, so that's very, very good, Ray. So now I know one thing in Google or anywhere actually. So the algorithm, or the Google itself, check how long is that your audience is watching that video. So if you have a 5-minute video, are they watching only like 3 seconds and they're going away? So how do we keep them like engaged, at least, at the end of the video or most part of it?
So that's what I alluded to before, is that there's something called the bounce rate on regular websites, right? When I go to the website, it's not what I want, I leave. So apparently the information you're displaying to someone to watch the video or go to your website is not correct. So that itself, the subject, when it comes down to the content, to your opening scene, to how long they're going to watch it. That's why I mentioned 30-second video, a minute video, 2-minute video. The goal is to have them watch the full video. That's the goal. Because if they don't provide value to the person watching on the screen, then Google, YouTube is going to say, hey, guess what? Let's rank that video down, because the person when they go on there, they actually leave. So again, your length is pretty important. People have long videos or shorter videos. And again, what are you trying to convey? Some may have it as a portfolio, as I do with my business. Some may just have it for the conversations we have. That's why we try to keep it short as possible, to keep them engaged, keep it quick and to the point so you can get back on your way. So again, that's what makes it very important, to make sure that you know the timing of the video. And when you start talking, you start listening to yourself talk, guess what? Maybe it's a little bit too long. So you need to kind of cut that down a little bit more.
Oh, okay, perfect. Hey, great 4 tips to, get the video and get it engaged by the audience, make it popular. So thanks, Ray. Thanks again for those 4 tips. I'm just going to kind of repeat those tips you gave it to us right now. Number 1 is the picking of the right subject, and checking Google what other people are looking for. So that will be, very desired subject. Number 2 is the thumbnail, to kind of, when they're swiping the screen, boom, you get them, kind of a magnet. Number 3 is the hook at the starting of the video, because, you got to keep them engaged, like, is their interest, okay, whatever you're talking to them, and keep them watching throughout the video. So that's very, very good. Thanks, Ray. Thanks again for this information. Hey, my friend, thanks for watching, giving us time over here. Any question you have, give us a call. Our number is right here. Ray's number is right there at the bottom. Give a call. Any question you have regarding marketing.